Cyber risk is now a board-level discussion. Boards are asking their executives about third-party audits of cyber systems, what controls and policies they have in place, and have they been formally pen-tested and/or red-teamed. Concerns coming out of the boardroom include business email compromise and associated wire fraud, hacking, ransomware, and email threats and extortions to the companies and their executives. Cybercrime is big business all around the world and includes players such as nation-states, organized criminal syndicates, and small and mid-sized players who are making up a new field called cybercrime as a service. Companies and individuals have never been at higher risk. McCann Global Investigations Cyber Division begins 2018 with digital forensic labs in Texas, New York, and Washington. We're able to serve our clients on a global basis for such cases as business email compromise that involves wire fraud, hacking incidences, violation of privacy that may be both physical and/or digital wiretapping, intellectual property theft, ransomware, and extortion. McCann's team of experts is made up of former law enforcement officials, private security consultants, technicians, and legal experts. We can respond to your incident with the right team of digital forensics, cyber forensics, darknet research, and penetration testing and red teaming. McCann Global Investigations begins 30 years ago in New York City by the founding of the company by Jack McCann, a first-grade detective in the New York Police Department. Assigned to the legendary NYPD hostage negotiation team, also known as HNT. Jack was allowed to obtain a watchguard license, allowing him to be both a first-grade detective and the owner of a private security company. In modern civilian terms, bodyguarding, close-quarter protection, and the security of physical sites and high-valued assets. In his legendary police career, Jack worked hundreds of major cases, including scores of high-end jewelry and art thefts. While Jack was a first-grade detective in the NYPD and running McCann Enterprises, he was also the director of security at the Warhol estate. In addition, Jack is featured in the Thomas Crown Affair, playing next to Dennis Leary. Other well-known cases during Jack's career in the NYPD include notorious high-profile cases such as the Son of Sam, the prosecution of John Gotti, and the war on 138th Street. After retiring from the NYPD in 1993, Jack's private sector business, McCann Enterprises, continued to flourish, including coverage of numerous Olympics, events at the United Nations, and other key executive events globally and in New York City. Daniel Weiss is a technology-minded entrepreneur with a proven track record and passion for security. Weiss's security career began slightly after graduate school when he worked at the maximum security prison known as Cedar Junction, or Walpole State Prison, right outside of Boston, Massachusetts. He then ventured into the private sector, working for Chubb Security and Wells Fargo Alarm before starting his first entrepreneurial venture in 1997, Engineered Protection Systems, or EPS. EPS was Houston's leading security integration firm with customers such as Goldman Sachs, Landry's, Exxon, Union Carbide, and scores of others. EPS was sold to Sonatrol, a division of Tyco International in 2001, when Weiss was 32 years old. His second startup company, General Cabling and Security, GCS, was formed in 2002 and was focused on the world between IT and physical security, devices that lived on the network and had IP addresses. In modern terms, IoT devices. In 2006, General Cabling and Security changed course to become Infrastructure Security, Weiss's third major material security startup, in a regional roll-up of geographically relevant companies in Texas, Louisiana, and Oklahoma that were focused on the chemical security business and were impacted by the regulations based out of the Chemical Facility Anti-Terrorism Standards, or CFATS. Infrastruct became the leading relevant company in that space. Weiss was 38 at the time when he started to build Infrastruct Security, and at that time he met Jack McCann in a fishing event down in South Padre that was focused on the impact of suicide bombers and the interface to it to Chemical Facility Anti-Terrorism Standards. Weiss is a nationally recognized expert on private security and has been featured on ABC, NBC, CBS, and CNN. Weiss has also been featured in articles in Inc. magazine, the Houston Chronicle, the Houston Business Journal, and specialty trade magazines such as Security Dealer Magazine and Security System News. Weiss is a global lecturer on topics of cryptocurrency and blockchain technology, and is a frequent speaker at EO organizations, YPO, and other executive organizations globally. Weiss is an author, a thought leader, and was a contributor to the indie film Puncture, a legal thriller, which featured Chris Evans playing the life and murder of his brother Michael David Weiss. In 2014, McCann Global Investigations was proud to announce Mark Miller joined the McCann team. Mark had come out of the Department of Justice, where he was the leading individual prosecutor for cyber and intellectual property crimes in the United States. Mark started his career in Houston, Texas, working at the DA's office in Harris County, where he conducted over 60 trials in county and district courts on cases that included murder, sexual assault, armed robbery, and narcotics. Mark joined the Department of Justice after the Harris County District Attorney's Office and did a 10-year stint at the Department of Justice. Mark served as an assistant U.S. attorney assigned to Organized Crime Section, which was responsible for the prosecution of complex money laundering, conspiracy, wiretaps, and narcotics cases. He managed teams of individuals and investigators on the prosecution of multiple organized crime syndicates. Mark served as an assistant deputy chief for the U.S. Department of Justice Computer Crime and Intellectual Property Section, where he managed teams of investigative agents in the prosecution of intellectual property and computer crimes against the United States. While at the U.S. Department of Justice, Mark held a high-level security clearance of top secret and secured compartmentalized information. Mark received the Justice Department's 2008 Award for protecting the integrity of the American marketplace. Mark also served as the management liaison between the DOJ at meetings with the IP czar and the senior White House officials related to IP policy, strategic goals, and budgeting. He served as a management liaison for the Department of Justice to the National Intellectual Property Rights Center, a multi-agency coordinating center. After leaving the DOJ, Mark went to go work for Nintendo of America, where he was charged with protecting the large portfolio of intellectual property, including both online assets and physical products. After Nintendo, Mark went on to be the Senior Vice President of the Motion Picture Association of America, where he worked globally and exclusively on behalf of the 6 major Hollywood studios to protect their intellectual property rights. Mark is a national and international speaker on topics of intellectual property, technology, and the law. Mark has made a trademark of making complex issues understandable to executive teams. McCann offers a unique blend of experience in both the private and public sector to help you deal with your complex cyber issue. From technical to legal consultation with a deep understanding of technology and technology-driven problems. No one offers a more unique combination of investigative, technology, public sector, and legal insight. McCann Cyber's process begins with an assessment of both administrative and infrastructure cyber policies, cyber and digital forensics, reporting and case management, civil filings, criminal filings, board investigations, and insurance filings. McCann also provides ongoing penetration testing, red teaming, and a review of your policies and procedures. McCann's cyber team includes leading experts in the fields of penetration testing, cyber and digital forensics, reporting research, and litigation support. When you need a total investigative solution, we are here for you. Contact the McCann Cyber Team today.